What's up, guys? Welcome back to video, and we just got House of the Dragon episode 8 officially released, and to me, I thought this was an amazing and emotional episode, and not only was it filled with the ton of drama, and also with the Visery and what happened to him, even for what's going on, and with everything that somehow that's supposed to play out as we head into the last two episodes in the first season of House of the Dragon as well, and also going over that ending. So in this review, this will be my full spoiler review for House of the Dragon episode 8, going over everything, and especially going over that ending and how it's all gonna somehow play out as we into the last of a few episodes in this first season. But if you're new here and you don't start like this, be sure to subscribe to the notification bell so it's obvious this in the future. So let's get into it. And now this episode opens on everyone, including for Velayron, on how they're preparing for battle, and how to attack the sea snake, and who will claim the Driftmark Throne, and also with the Renary's response on how who will claim the Driftmark Throne, and now like she claims that there's going to be a Lucery Velayron, and now it's especially with Driftmark, it is an island west of Dragonstone in the Blackwater Bay, with a little series of Velayron who has now claimed to be on the throne of Driftmark. And then we see the Damon collecting a dragon egg, and with the men that he is with, he's supposed to collect 3 dragon eggs, and then we'll put it in the chambers. And now with Damon and Renner, and to talk about how Damon like only cares about the Driftmark, and to anyone that claims it, even for the Velayron land, with the Renners involved as well. And then we see the meaning of the small council to talk about the sea state, and to talk about who will claim the Driftmark throne, and that is for Lucery Velayron. And then we see the Renner and Damon visiting King Visery in his bed, and now from what we can see and from what we can tell, he's not in very good shape, because when we saw him in episode 6 and 7, he was not in very good shape either, and also losing his hair. And now as we can see like something wrapped on his eye, or maybe it's probably a full foreshadowing what really happened to him and how he got hurt, and also because he's dying from his illness. And then we see Renner introducing Visery to her second child, who is Aegon, and now it's especially and now like with their second son, who's named Aegon, especially with Allison's son and Aegon, and now this means Damon and Renner now have two sons named Joffrey and Aegon Targaryen. And then we see Supreme crucified Aemon, and from what we can tell, Aemon looks a little bit more adult than we last saw him in the last episode. And then we see an eye badge on him. It's because he lost his eye to a series when they fought, and because Aemon stole a dragon, and the kids all beat him up. And from what we can tell, this took another time jump, because when the show first started, it started with the teens, with the young Renner and Allison, and then it took a 10-year time jump from where we saw like adult Renner and Allison, and then with their kids, and then in the next episode it took another 10-year time jump from where we saw going from their kids, and now to their teens, and now here in this episode 8, and now we see another 10-year time jump, and from now we see the kids go from teens to now adults, and then we see Renner taking care of sick Visery as he's still laying in bed, and even with the Visery requesting Otto that they should have a dinner together. And then we see Otto on the Driftmark, and then he says he will do the kind of petitions from Velayron, and now we see King Visery coming in, and from what we tell, he's walking in with a cane, and he is still sick, and he's now defending Renera and her children, and he is sitting on the Driftmark, and then with Damon, he places the crown on his head, and now we see this moment where Velayron does not let Lucery on the Driftmark, and then after that his head gets immediately chopped off by Damon. And now, with the ending to this episode, we see everyone gathering around and claiming for Aemon and Damon, and mourning over loss of Aemon, and after Damon chopped his head off, and then we see everyone leaving, and now for what Visery reveals here is that he like really like lost his right eye. It's because he's suffering from his disease called leprosy, and it's because with that disease he caught from the Iron Throne, in which it rejected him as king. we see Emma and Damon just like staring at each other, in which we're probably going to see a showdown from them probably within the last 2 episodes of the season. And now with this, now with the final scene is with the King Visery is taking his last breath, and then he dies, and now with the king that is now dead, and now this is leads into big things for the show moving forward, especially when the last 2 episodes of the show, and now with the Visery now dead, and now like with the war that's about to happen in the last 2 episodes. Yeah, and with this week's episode of Fast as Dragon, I thought it was an amazing and emotional episode, and even with the King of Visery that is now gone, and with the Rhaenyra and Daemon that now have children, and even with Alicent, and this should set up big things for the show moving forward, especially with the war that's about to happen, especially between with the Targaryens and the Valyrians, and with the war that's about to happen, and how this is all gonna play out as we head into the last 2 episodes in the season, especially for the finale as well, and how that's all gonna play out as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, and I can wait for the final 2 as well. So that's my first video. Like thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on House of Dragon episode 80? Give me a rating between 1 out of 10. If we can get this video a like and subscribe to catch up on future videos, and for live updates, always follow me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.